So we continue the process. We continue the transformation process that we started. Personal transformation, the ultimate quest, because we know that it is never too late to become your greatest self. So I'm sharing with you the components of my latest work, pulling together a series of lectures and ideas into a whole process for personal transformation. We added component already, personal transformation, the ultimate quest. And we continue the process today. And we established that, look, there's this big component called the universe, which we connect via the world of spirit, via our mind. And the smallest component is what we are as a body. That's how we make the leap, the steps. And the components that we'll be looking at are from connecting with the universe all the way to using your intuition. All the components that we use to become the best version of yourself. So today we take you on step one, connecting with the universe. Step one, connecting with the universe. What is involved with that? Well, there's some things that we know beyond the shadow of a doubt. We have a natural ability to change the brain and body by thought alone. Just what you think, you can become. Your thoughts are powerful. Two, we can make thoughts more real than anything else. You can change who you are from brain cell to gene. There's a whole science of epigenetics now. You know, people used to think that because of your genetic predisposition, it is set, everything is set. We know better than that because we know how thoughts and emotions influence every component. Again, I keep repeating to people that, look, every cell, the 50 trillion cells of your body are constantly eavesdropping on your thoughts and your emotions. Thoughts, that's the language of the mind. Emotions, feelings, that's the language of the body. Now, what happens is that your perception becomes your reality. You create your reality via your perception. It is not what you look at that matters, says Henry David Thoreau. It's what you see. It is what you see. Now, Albert Einstein, we find him very useful in so many ways. He reminds us that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, says Dr. Einstein. This is physics. Everything around us, within us, is energy. We work with that. So, since everything is energy, your thoughts begin it. Your emotions amplify it. Your action increases momentum. It begins with you. Your thoughts begin it as you think it. As a man thinketh, so is he. Your emotions amplify it. What does the emotion of fear and anger do to you? But then your action increases the momentum. That's what we work with. That's what we have to work with. Now, quantum science now helps us to go a little further. Our intentions create our reality. We are so powerful that we don't even realize it. The observer effect in quantum physics states that where you direct your attention is where you place your energy. And as a consequence, you affect the material world, which is made of what? Energy. So again, your attention, your intentions, your thoughts. So what we say, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. You see, the mind doesn't distinguish very clearly what you're saying. Focus on what you want. Worrying can be described as praying for what you don't want. Why do you keep those thoughts going around and round and round and round in your head? Attention energizes, while intention transforms. Remember that whatever you put your attention to grows, and it grows stronger in your life. Whatever you take your attention away from withers and ultimately disappears from your life. So where are you going to put your attention? So that's how we connect with the universe. The universe doesn't give you what you ask for with your thoughts. It gives you what you demand with your actions. So you have to do things to take it to the next level. So that's why now we understand the spirit, which can also be called consciousness, that essence that imbue your life form. That essence. Spirituality is not a religion and should not be confused with religion. Spirituality is a way of life, how we live. We know that there are different parts of the same mountain. So start from wherever you are. Let no one tell you that they have the right part and you're lost and you're not going to make it without them. Different parts of the same mountain. Just start from wherever you are. You can make it from there. The vehicle that we use is a vehicle called meditation. It's an experiential practice where the mind and body are rewired and relearning take place. That's how we actively rewire the mind and body. We call the process meditation. We're all part of a vast invisible field of energy, which contains all possible realities and responds to what? Our thoughts and our feelings. So why don't we take control of this and access all that we desire? So we say meditation is a means for us to move beyond our analytical mind so we can access the subconscious mind, which is where our bad habits and behaviors that we want to change reside. You can rationalize all kind of things till the cows come home, but the analytical mind can take you in the wrong area. So we need to get to that subconscious mind where the bad habits, the things that you want to change, the things you want to transform to become your best you. Meditation opens the door between the conscious and the subconscious mind. We meditate to enter the operating system of the subconscious, and we can change them to more productive modes to support us in our lives. If we want a new outcome, we'll have to break the habit of being our old self and reinvent a new self. What a wonderful thing to do at the beginning of a brand new year. Become you 2.0. There are elements with the old model of you, which we can now find a way to make it stronger, better, more responsive. Again, Professor Einstein says the intuitive mind is the sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have all created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. That intuitive mind that makes us powerful beyond all means. What do we know? The latest research supports the notion that we have a natural ability to change the brain and to change our body by thoughts alone. Because you can make thoughts more real than anything else. You can change who you are from brain cell to gene, given the right understanding. It's all within our own grasp. So we use this thing called meditation. And I want to take you there to give you an illustration of how this works and how we can use this as an integral part of a daily practice. I begin my day with meditation. I end my day with meditation. And you know, there's a wonderful Zen saying that you should meditate at least 20 minutes a day. Except when you have a very busy day, then you need to meditate for 1 hour. You see the paradox? The more busy you are, the more time you have to carve out to connect with the body and mind and to reprogram yourself to be the best that you can be. So let me take you there. Let me walk you through how we do this.
Meditation, the path to your best you. I'm a student of Dr. Deepak Chopra and Dr. Wayne Dyer. Chopra is a medical doctor who combines the wisdom of the East with the science of the West. I can say the same thing about Wayne Dyer. He's a psychologist, and again he combines the wisdom of the East with the science of the West. And I think we get a very good mix from this. At the same time, being an Afrocentric person, I look at all of the ideas that I'm confronted with in terms of universal principles. What can we extract? What truths are there that we can make use of? One thing we know for sure is that mind controls body. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Feelings are the language of the body. So this conversation is always going on, and with consciousness we're able to make sense of these things. Now, many people think that the main purpose of meditation is for stress reduction, how we can tune out and get away from it all. But on the contrary, that's only partially true, because meditation is not getting away from it all, it's getting in touch with the totality of who you are, getting to the essence of what you are about. And more specifically, we're talking about getting to a space of peace. And all wisdom tradition talk about the peace that passeth all understandings. So you are centered, well centered. We have thoughts coming to us at all time and space from different angles. But the question is that what can you find that space between the thoughts? Constant flow of thoughts in your mind. But the wisdom that we seek is found in that space between thoughts. How can we expand that space? How can we make more use of it? How can we make it more accessible and available for brand new insights? We know that in silence and meditation, that's where wisdom finds you. There's a wonderful poem by the poet Rumi, and he says, "I've been a seeker and I still am, but I stopped. I stopped asking the books and the stars. I started listening to the teachings of my soul." Again, the essence of wisdom is within, once we make ourselves accessible. Now, according to wisdom traditions, that space between thoughts, that's the ultimate window. It's the corridor. It's the vortex to the infinite mind. The mystery that some people call the Spirit of God. We use the concept of God. It's a construct, but it ultimately connects with the universe. All that is perfect, all that is good, all that is divine, the ultimate source of everything. Different cultures use different names to articulate, but I'm more comfortable with the universe. Other people use various words, but whatever is comfortable for you. Now, you don't have to use any of the terms that we use, as long as you know what you're speaking about. You know how this affects you. Now, where do you find it? And what do you find in that space between thoughts? It's called the field of infinite possibilities. Pure potential. All things come from that space. Everything here is connected to everything else. The space of infinite creativity, infinite imagination. Just picture that. Whatever can be imagined, whatever can be thought of, that's where it comes from. It's a place where there's something called the observer effect. You are not just the observed, you are doing the observing. And it's independent of your own existence. In meditation, we get into the space so we can find infinite possibilities, infinite correlation, infinite creativity, infinite imagination, infinite powers of interaction. So it's a powerful space to get into. This is ultimately what meditation is about, to get you into that space. One of the most powerful tools associated with meditation is something we have come to know as the law of attraction. There's a science behind the law of attraction, believe it or not. We attract into our lives anything that we give our attention to, regardless whether it's positive or negative. So there are many people who inadvertently bring hardship, pain and sorrow into their life because that's all they're giving their attention to. Now, there's a psychological view that explains how this happens. We can best explain this process of the law of attraction that there's a information filtering system, physical information filtering system located in your brain. It's called the reticular activating system, RAS for short. What it does, anything that you deem as important, it either brings it to you or you to it, out of nowhere. Two simple examples. Look, the same way a mother with a young baby in another room crying. No one else in the room hears the baby, she does. Because her RAS brings that signal right to her because it's important. A person who is into cars, knowledgeable about cars, really love cars and so on. In a room and a car passes, a particular type of car passes, a particular type of muffler. No one else notices that, but that person does. Because that information available in the universe is brought to them. Now, can you imagine how many other things you can bring to you? You say you want these things. You say you desire these things. Yes, the reticular activating system, it does that. It filters all of these things.
So that's what we're talking about, folks. This powerful thing called meditation. And the pieces are there. We will probably go into it further to give you some more uses of it. So because it's a very important part in the process to take us where we try to get to. Personal transformation, as we say. It's never too late to become your greatest self. So here ended today's lesson, and we continue this process tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. By the way, all my work is available. All these works are available on YouTube. You can find them on, also, you can check other platforms, but definitely YouTube is probably the best place for you to look. It's all curated there. And under this theme here now that we're talking about personal transformation, Dr. Leahcim Semaj, and you'll find the other work in this series. But each day we will present a chapter. We see you then.